Hi everyone, welcome back to Where the Gnomes Live. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I make my wooden floors in all my doll houses. You've seen these floors in my huge gnome home and also in my mushroom house. So today I thought I would show you exactly how I make them. There's a couple different ways you can make them. You can apply the sticks right inside the dollhouse itself, right on top of the base floor, or you can make a template like I do here and then install the floor that way. So what I'm using is wooden coffee stir sticks. These are under $2 a package. There's 150 in each package, and they're thin wood, very easy to work with, and very easy to cut with scissors. And once you have the glue on them, they dry very fast. So I'm using those wooden stir sticks. I'm using a small paintbrush, scissors, and tacky glue, just white tacky glue, and that's all you need. You can stain the floor with whatever you want to use or paint the floor. Part 2 of this video, I'm going to show you how I use my coffee stain. So let's head over to the gnome home first and I'll show you those floors, and then we'll get straight to the tutorial. So here's my very large home, my very large gnome home. If you haven't seen this home before, I do have a video tour here on YouTube, and I also explain how I made the house. And you can find that link in the description box below. But right now I just want to focus on these wooden floors that have been made, all have been made with wooden coffee stir sticks. And then I stain everything with instant coffee. Very cheap alternative to the wooden floors that they sell. This is a great alternative if you don't want to buy or spend that much money on a floor. Now I just wanted to show you also that these floors, these sticks, can be glued onto a base floor. You don't need to make a template like I do in this tutorial. You can do it either way. So I sat down with scissors and my sticks and some glue, and I cut and glued each stick in individually, and of course that took me many hours, but the time was so worth it. So the thing I wanted to point out to you is when I'm doing this tutorial later on in the video, once I get the sticks on this template, I put books on top. Now I don't want you to worry if you're doing sticks right inside the dollhouse with no template. You don't have to put books on top. I do the books for 2 reasons. One is I can make sure all the sticks are glued down, of course, but also because the template itself is getting damp, or has been damp, it'll bow upwards, so the books just help the template lay flat and stay flat. When you do this floor like I did here inside the gnome home, if any of the ends start sticking up, there won't be many, but if there is any, it could happen once or twice, I just use a little thing like a bottle of paint and I just stick it on the part that's sticking up, and that takes care of it. And then after 10-15 minutes that piece will be glued down and you don't have to worry about it. So on a template floor, use books. On a floor like this, just use little weights to make sure that the ends stick down. So for this tutorial, I thought I'd show you a tricky situation if you come across a floor like this where you've already done it. Let's say you've done some stonework, or the floor is uneven and you want to add a wood floor to a section or to the whole thing. I'm going to do one for the back section back there. I wanted to see how a wooden floor would look back there, but because I already had stone floor, the stone floor was a bit uneven, so I needed to make the floor and then add it to that back section, which I'm going to show you how I do next. So in a situation like this where the floor is awkwardly shaped, most of the time I would just glue the sticks down. I would cut them individually and then glue them down onto the floor and just work that way. It's time consuming, but it can be done, and I did that in my gnome home. But for this floor, it's uneven because there's stonework on it, and it's uneven, and I'm not even sure if I'll like the wooden floor. So what I did was just make the whole floor in one piece, and then I can try it out. And if I like it, then I would just glue this whole thing down and the problem has been solved. So what I did to get this floor here was I had to make a template first. And I did that using a regular piece of writing paper. I just pushed my paper in there. Now I put a whole sheet. It's kind of hard to show that on film. But I put the whole sheet of writing paper. And then I just used my fingernail. And I went around and I creased all the edges. Once I had all the creases around those edges, then I just cut those creases off, and then I put the paper back in to make sure it fit. Then I took the paper once it was cut out, this sheet of paper, and I glued it down to a poster board. So here's my poster board here. I've already cut big pieces off. It comes in great big sheets. I buy this at Walmart. The poster board is quite thin. It's like cardboard, but it's quite thin and very bendable, and I use this a lot in my doll houses. So I took my piece of paper. Now I actually traced around the poster board, but you can glue the paper down and then just cut around the paper itself. That might be easier. So once I had my poster board template, and that's what I used for my sticks. And you can also use this technique, like take your template and then glue that template down to a stronger piece of cardboard, and then you could use that cardboard in a dollhouse that has no floor. I've done that before too. I've made the floor and then put that inside of a dollhouse, and then I created a floor, and my floor was already done with the sticks or with my stonework. So next I'm going to show you how I glue the sticks on. Okay, so I'm using wooden coffee stir sticks, like I said, and you get them at the dollar store. That's where I get mine anyway, under $2, and there's a package of 150. So one of these will do a good size floor. Because these are so cheap, of course, you're not going to get perfect sticks all the time. Some of them are going to be broken. Some of them will be a little bit more narrow than the others. And then some will be completely wonky, like this one here. So you just want to cut that off, and then you can use the other part of the stick. Or if you have a stick like this where parts of it is missing along the edges, kind of uneven, then just discard that stick. So I know that's a little bit annoying, but for under $2 you get yourself a great looking floor. I mean, for the amount of money that you have to pay, it's kind of worth it to have those little annoying things like that happen. A wonky stick here and there is totally worth getting a floor for under $2, I think anyway. These are great, and you can cut them so easily with scissors. And I took the moment to just cut up some different lengths, because I'm going to do different lengths on here. And I have glue, and I'm just going to use my paintbrush and just get the glue on there. You can start anywhere, on the middle or on the end. It doesn't matter. Just get your glue on there. And then you just lay the sticks over. So it's important when you're doing your floor that you don't get puddles of glue that can seep up between the sticks. If you get any glue on your stick, then it won't hold any stain, and it'll make your paint look funny. So if you do get glue on top of your sticks, then you need to wash it off. Once you're all done your floor, you just take a washcloth and just go over it. Make sure there's no glue. If you look at a hardwood floor, they are staggered in a way that none of the lines are even. So what I do now is I'm going to lay it down on top of wax paper or tin foil, and then get another sheet of wax paper or tin foil, and then lay it right over top. And now I'm going to put a couple of books, heavy books, on here, and I'm going to leave it for about half an hour, 45 minutes. Some time has passed, and I think my sticks are all dry. I just take a minute and check and see. So I just pull on the edges a bit, and if it's not lifting away from the poster board, then it's dry enough for me to cut around the template. So this is where you'll see how easy it is to cut these sticks with scissors. So once you have your sticks all cut, then you want to try if you used a template like this, then you want to try it in the floor, of course. Just go see if it fits. Any places need to be trimmed up, then do that now. And you can see that using this on poster board, how bendy it is, which makes it really nice for getting into odd-shaped rooms. So now your floor is ready for whatever paint or stain you choose, and you can finish it off however you like to. If you want to see how I finish my floors with instant coffee stain, which is really nice because there's no chemicals involved, you can head over to part 2. If you don't see a link popping up on your screen right now, then just look in the description box below. I'll show you how I apply the stain and how I finish it off and how I seal it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope your dolls enjoy their new wooden floor. Thanks so much for watching, and see you soon!